following a vicious assault on a teenage girl at a secondary school, which resulted in her being hospitalized with serious injuries. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, at yesterday's post-cabinet media briefing, issued a firm warning against school violence, declaring that such behavior would not be tolerated. She stated that students involved in violent acts would face expulsion and be subjected to the full force of the law. Here's more.
Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has pledged swift policy reforms in response to rising school violence.
Going forward, we will treat every occurrence of assault or battery as an expellable offense in schools and an arrestable offense to put before the courts. I want parents and students to listen very carefully. If your child batters another child, assaults or batters another child in school, they will be expelled and will face the full brunt of the law. They will be arrested.
Persad-Bissessar said that there is growing public frustration over the persistent issue of school violence.
I think everybody's fed up with a daily dose of school violence. You send your children to school and you want them to be safe. I think everyone is fed up with violence taking place in our schools.
She said wearing a school uniform should never grant immunity from the law.
And, you know, if someone is 15 years old, if that person robs you or assaults you or extorts you, they are arrested. However, if they do the same thing in a school uniform, they are getting a free pass. It doesn't make sense that the school uniform is a license to break the law. This must stop.
She said all acts of school violence must now be reported to the police for prosecution, with parents urged to take greater responsibility for their children's behavior.
All acts of school violence must now be referred to the police for criminal prosecutions. Parents need to take responsibility for their children's behavior. And if they can't train them to properly behave in school, then let them stay home, and then we will have to look for spaces, as I said, to properly nurture them and counsel them and to help them to live in a manageable way.
The Prime Minister stressed that restoring order in schools requires accountability from both students and parents. Kimberly Mitchell, Tobago Updates Television News.